Morning traders, and this is your Aussie trade setup for today. So again, ignore this last candle, it is incorrect data. So these last 4 bars here is basically what happened. And we're starting off on the 3 hour. You can see we did get the sellers step in as expected off the top again. Okay, reached that area and immediately sold off. We're going to get some buyers coming back in, and kind of the daily, I think the important thing here for the daily is just realize that that is low. And if we look at the daily, we have a red pin bar, but not with such a long tail. Okay, so we basically came back to test these inside tails. Okay, so this is the area that I said to you yesterday. It'll be interesting to see a long, and if we drop down to the hour, you'll see we kind of got there. Not really anything exciting, but basically the closing range breakout is starting to play out again. So if you look at that, oops, it's got the half hour for this. 1 sec, guys. There it is there. Okay, so last hour of trading, which is these 2 bars, that's our closing range, and you can see we hit the second range target. So first range target is the height of the target. Second range target is the height plus 61.8%, which is up there. Okay, actually quite an interesting pattern. Came back, tested the break of the range, didn't quite close the gap, and then rallied again. So I think for today, we can essentially move our levels up. So a line in the sand to the downside at the moment is 48,800. Okay, I do suspect that this big cup and handle is going to play out at the moment. Yeah, so here's a cup, and here's the handle. Now, there's been some news that's come out overnight that the Chinese have announced that they will be sitting down in October for the trade wars, and all the markets have jumped 1%. So, so I think proceed with a little bit of caution. I can expect a gap up, even though the rand dollar has fallen dramatically. We're down to 14.75, and yesterday the US markets were up over 1%, and they're up 1% again. 10 cent is up 1% at the moment. So put that all together, expect a pretty large gap to the upside, but I wouldn't chase that. I'd wait for some kind of a pullback or consolidation. That may only happen in the lower time frames. So if we go to the 12-minute, just find an example for you. We're not going to see that kind of stuff. We're probably going to see a gap up. And there isn't one recently. So essentially, what's probably more than likely going to happen is we're going to gap up, we're going to hit some resistance, and then we're going to just hover there, and then more than likely sort of drift lower before the bulls step in again to break through. So the resistance that we're looking for is definitely at 50,000, 4,900 is definitely the area we need to pay attention to. Once we through, I want to check the weekly quickly, make sure we don't have. Yeah, there it is there. Okay. So you can see all these tails onto this level here. So this is the level we need to watch out for, which is 49,140. Okay, the weekly is starting to turn here. We've got a nice big engulfing green candle, and so I do suspect that this double top is more than likely not going to play out. Okay, so at this stage, I think if you're not in the market at the moment, wait for an opportunity. Just get down to the half hour. That's what we want to trade. So if you're not in the market at the moment, wait for the opportunity. If we do get a big gap up, I think we can probably expect that's 270. We could probably expect even a higher gap. We could have a gap above this level, and that would be interesting because then any kind of pullback onto this level would be a buying opportunity for me. Okay, so trend change has happened and tested on the hour. It hasn't. Well, it has happened on the 3 hour. It's been in play for quite a few, or most of last week as well on the 3 hour. Okay, although it's been messy, that's definitely a verified trend change from my perspective at the moment. So yeah, so long it is. Just need to wait for the opportunity to get in, because there's going to be a massive gap up. This level here needs to go. I would more than likely, if we don't gap above this level. So if we just move this to the center of our screen. So if we don't gap up above this level here of 49,140, then I would expect price to hover here, sort of roll during the first half hour of trade, and then more than likely have another attempt to get through. But that is the level. Your target at the moment is pretty much the break of this structure. You can call it a head and shoulders or a cup and handle. There's a shoulder, here's a head, here's a shoulder. But it doesn't really matter what you want to call it. It's a consolidation pattern. And if we get a break above it, our next logical area is pretty much the 3 hour 200 SMA. And it is also a gap close. And the gap close is a little bit higher, but let's just be safe. There's a level there. Right. Yeah. So there's a swing low. We've got a gap just above here. So that is the level we're aiming for. Okay. So could very well play out today. Nothing impossible with this market. That is a 1,000-point move. So yep, not impossible for the Aussie at the moment. Okay. Anyway, that's my view today. Looking for the longs. I would be on the lower time frames at the open just to see what's going to transpire. So expect the gap up. Don't chase the gap. Wait for it to find some resistance and start rolling. It may only be 1 or 2 bars. It could be something like this. So we gap up, hit resistance, roll quite deep, and then only rally again when the US opens. Okay, that's also possible, but the point is wait for the pullback. Okay, unless you're just going to see green candles. So if you're on the 5 minutes and you see, we definitely haven't had a day like that in a lot. Oh, there we go. So if you're on the 5 minutes and you start seeing green candles like this, there's no reason not to be long. Okay, so long as you're far away from a level. Okay, anyway guys, that's my view at the moment. Gap up, wait for some consolidation, or if it's a continuously green trend, just hop in on it. You're looking for at least 3 green bars in a row, and you need to be reasonably distance away from the next level. Okay, anyway guys, that's it for me today. Whatever you do, just keep those stops. Don't have to keep them that tight, but keep them don't risk too much, because something may actually happen. You never know what the politicians decide to start screaming and what direction they want the market to go. Okay, anyway guys, hope that helps, and I'll catch you later. Cheers for now.